ladies, it's your guy AyChristene, and it's still Friday. It's still an awesome day. It's the last day of the work week, which is awesome. This week kind of like blew fast really quick, and I appreciated that. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I have really freaking awesome news, but I want to do it a certain way. So I'm going to make sure I do that. And if I don't do it in a certain way that I want to do it, then I'll just tell you guys in another video. But I'm like really excited about this thing, and I would love to share it with you guys, but I want to do it a certain way, so I will work hard to do it that way. But meanwhile, we are here with this highly requested video. This is why I don't have a face reveal. This is by Jaiden Animations. The link for this video will be in the description box below for you to check out. I know a lot of people have been requesting that I check out this video. They said it's sad, so it'll be like a try not to cry. So we will see. I see in the description it says, so please stop asking. Some flashing colors, that's a warning. I'm a little nervous and I'm a little concerned. I hope that everything's okay, but I guess we'll all find out. Or you guys already know, but I guess I'm gonna find out in this video. And yeah, I think that's everything I gotta say. The link for this video is in the description box below. Hope to see you at the live stream. Now let's get started.
This video has been in the back of my head for longer than it should have been. And I think it's about time I talk about it and explain why things are the way they are. If you're here just to see what I look like, just hold on a bit longer. I have really important things to explain. Briefly, the first few reasons I don't show myself are because I don't want people to have an opinion of my content and who I am based on what I look like. We live in a society that almost revolves around appearance. People can become famous just for their looks. People can be very judgmental not to like someone. I'm fine if you don't like me or what I do, but if your only reason would be because you don't like what I look like, then what kind of argument is that? I'm very shy and prefer to keep to myself. I still want to have privacy, but there's a main reason, and I haven't told this story to anyone. Thing is, I don't tell people my problems because I feel like I can handle them on my own, and I don't want to drag people into my messes. I don't want to hurt anyone, and if you knowing I'm hurt hurts you, then I don't want to tell you when I'm hurting. Yeah, if that makes any sense at all. But here we go.
But sometimes you gotta share it and open up.
I don't think very highly of myself. I joke about it a lot, and I'm pretty open about it. When I was young, I actually had a lot of confidence. People gave me compliments and said nice things, and I believed them and was proud of myself. But as I got older, I began having doubts. I started thinking that people were lying to me, or they said things and didn't really mean it. Words can't affect you when you don't let them. People say that all the time. But it's easy to forget. It goes the same way with positive words as negative. That led me to telling myself I wasn't good enough and I had to do better. My standards slowly started getting higher and higher without me realizing how bad it was getting.
I know a lot of people it could be like that.
I felt like I wasn't good enough for anything, even though people would be telling me, wow, you're doing so great, you're so talented. I would say thank you, not to be rude, but it was never believed in one ear, out the other. I didn't hear it. I went to college with the same mindset, not feeling
a lot of people go through self-esteem and
standards for myself always getting higher, and that's the problem. I push myself so hard to get better at everything, and I do improve, but it's still not enough for me. The bar keeps getting higher before I can grab it, like climbing a staircase where the top keeps getting further away and the ball and chain attached to your ankle is getting heavier and heavier. But you keep trying. Eventually, this branched out to more than just what I was doing. It started seeping into my self-image, which wasn't high in the first place either. It wasn't only telling me what I was doing wasn't enough, it started telling me I wasn't enough. And that's when I started wanting to fix it. I started eating less, trying to be happier with myself. I'm naturally very thin, and I've never had issues with weight before. But it was like a switch in my brain that all of a sudden that wasn't good enough either. It became all I could think about. My whole day revolved around what I ate, what it was, when I ate, how many calories, every detail.
But you're already
I wanted
fit.
Complete control.
You're in great shape.
I want to be in shape. All I let myself have was half an apple and 10 Cheerios, and I felt happy about it. Look how in control I am. But I wasn't. I was in this downward spiral. I built up fears and rules, and my head got foggier and foggier every day. Lack of nourishment prevented me from being able to think clearly, and I was making irrational decisions. friends. I was telling myself this was what I had to do to be happy. Of course, it was extremely painful starving myself. Eventually, I decided I would go the entire day eating as close to nothing as possible, then eating a bunch at the end to stop the pain, followed by erasing it. This whole awful cycle went on for several months. I don't even remember anything else I was doing in my life. It all just became a blur. The only thing I can truly remember looking back now was just being so tired and cold and sad all the time. I wasn't able to see I was getting thinner and thinner. Nothing was good enough. My brain didn't let me see how horrible it was getting. I don't know what happened, but eventually I was able to break through and tell myself this wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to live like this anymore, and I had to get better. Now here's the thing people don't realize. Eating disorders are the easy part. The rough part is breaking it. You create these fears and rules for so long that when you want to escape the jail cell you've built around yourself, they beckon you to stay and try to drag you back in, promising happiness and how they're only here to protect you. They let you feel like you're the one in control when you're not. You're the puppet on strings, and when you try to cut yourself free, not only do you face your fears head on, but you live them. Here's some information about what happens to your body when it's starving. When it realizes it's not getting enough food to create energy for itself, it starts slowing down your metabolism, which is the process of converting calories into energy. It slows down in order to conserve the energy it has
your
left
body needs
for
the energy.
important things like keeping your heart pumping and your organs working. But the tricky part is when you start refeeding it, things don't just go back to normal right away. Your body doesn't trust that you'll keep feeding it again, and it starts storing extra energy for the next starvation.
That's very true.
If you don't realize what that means, basically it stores extra weight as energy, predicting it won't have food again for a long time. Your metabolism is still slow, and you face the nightmare that drove you to the disorder in the first place. It's not just in your head anymore. Before I go any further, I'd like to say that I believe people can be perfectly happy at any weight. I'm not saying these things in order to make anyone feel ashamed.
And no one should
because
ever
weight
feel it.
shouldn't
She's just
matter
sharing
in
her
general.
story.
It's
Everybody
about how
should
you
calm down.
think of yourself, and as long as you're relatively healthy and take care of yourself, I believe that's the most important thing. But this isn't as simple as just getting thinner. There's so much more to it. I wish I could express to you how toxic your mind becomes while dealing with something like this.
It can be
it's not
very,
how your brain
very
would
toxic.
normally function when it's clear. You know what you're doing to yourself is wrong, but you just can't shake it. It has a death grip on you. So I was attempting recovery completely on my own, I'll remind you. I didn't tell anyone in my life what I was going through, and it was indescribably difficult. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I had to be the doctor and the patient. I kept saying, this is what'll make you better. You're on the right path. But the voice was still there. You're a disgrace. Look what you've done. Look what eating has done to you. This isn't what you want. Come back to me. I'm here for you. I didn't want to listen to it. I kept telling myself everything was fine. I'm doing the right thing. I just have to give it time. Over and over. I wanted to believe it so badly. But the voice wouldn't go away. It's always there. I didn't want anyone to see me. I felt like I was a disappointment to everyone and didn't deserve to be in front of people. I could feel their judgment in my head. I didn't deserve food. I was unacceptable. I never wanted to leave my room, and I probably wouldn't have. But there was one thing. VidCon. I already planned to go before things got so bad because you have to plan so far in advance for it. I didn't want to let people down by breaking my promise to be there, and I wanted to see all my friends and supporters, but I was in such a terrible state. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was panicking. I wasn't ready. I wasn't back to normal yet, but I was approaching so quickly, and there wasn't any time to go back. I told myself this was my punishment. I did this to myself. So I put on a mask and pretended to be fine. I was trying to act like myself so much that I wasn't even me anymore. I became a stranger to who I actually am. Even though I was horribly uncomfortable, my weight was higher than my average from starving myself, my cheeks were swollen from making myself throw up every day for so many months, my mind was telling me I was a letdown to everyone, my self-image and esteem was at an all-time low. I tried my hardest to push through it. Every person I met, the voice inside me said, "You're such a disappointment. You aren't good enough for them. I felt like I could feel every single person's discontent through their embrace, but I didn't let the mask slip off, and I kept trucking through. I let people take pictures, but I really wish I didn't. It was the lowest I've ever felt in my life, and I felt like I was a lie to everyone. It was almost like I wasn't even there. I wasn't present. It was just a daze. After the convention was over, I was so mentally torn to shreds. I wasn't okay. I felt like all the progress I was trying to make to get better had just been ripped down. The voice was louder than ever, drowning out the one that was telling me everything was going to be okay. I realized I couldn't let people on YouTube see me when I was in such a toxic, horrible state. I messaged the person who was taking a lot of video footage and asked them if I could censor my face out. I'm not going to mention who this person is because that detail doesn't add anything to this story, and I don't think it would benefit anyone if I did. They agreed, so I spent the afternoon editing their video censoring my face. I wasn't myself in the video, and I didn't want people to see the mask I put on for myself. When I finished and sent it over a few hours later, they told me they changed their mind and wanted to post the normal video. I was absolutely mortified and forced myself to explain to them the main reasons why I don't want to show myself, hoping that if they knew the story behind it, it would help them change their mind again. But it didn't. I've had disagreements with this person in the past, and from what I understand, this person is very adamant when they have their mind on something. So if me having edited the video for them and explaining the story behind it wasn't enough, I came to the conclusion I couldn't do anything else to change their mind and let them post it. I thought I had experienced the worst already, but this destroyed me. A nightmare where hundreds of thousands of people are wanting to see you, and then when they finally do, it's at the lowest, darkest point of your life, and they don't even know it. When you don't show yourself, people develop expectations. I don't know what those expectations are.
And it's hard to live up to any expectations that people have.
They don't even know what they are. But I believed with all my heart I disappointed every single one. It's not just the fact I wasn't where I wanted to be appearance-wise. So many people saw me for the first time when I was at such an awful point mentally, and I fell so much deeper into darkness I'd ever been. I felt like I was drowning in my own emotions. Every time I tried to get back to the surface to breathe, another wave would crash down on me and pull me right back under again. I started having even darker thoughts, and I knew I should have been scared of them. But I wasn't, and that's what scared me. The voice was echoing in my head, almost completely muting out the other one. Every day, I just wanted to feel happy again. I wanted to wake up and everything's just normal. Not one day passed without me hating myself. I couldn't find a reason to get out of bed. I felt broken and that no one could fix me. Black fog surrounded me everywhere I went, and I couldn't breathe. I was so stretched thin. I was trying so hard to swim, but the waves kept coming, each one stronger than the last. But I kept going. I don't know why. There wasn't a reason, and I couldn't really find one. I just did. And even though I didn't have a reason for myself not to give up pushing through everything, I wanted to be there for people. I want to be able to be there for people like me who felt like they couldn't go to anyone and are drowning, and help them like how I wanted someone to reach out and help me. I want to exist for other people. I don't really care about myself. That may or may not be a good thing to say. I don't really know at this point right now. But I'll mention one thing I've thought to myself that helped me. I consider myself a weak person. I can get knocked down relatively easily, and I knock myself down a lot too. We always talk about how strong someone is, but I feel like it doesn't have to matter how strong or weak you are. What matters is that you just keep getting back up. Something could knock down a weak person and not even affect a strong person, but it doesn't matter how many times you're knocked down.
But there's strength in getting back up.
You can keep going. I don't want to live in the past, and I'm not...
There's like a little word there. What did it say? Hold on.
Affect a strong person, but it doesn't matter how many times you're knocked down, because as long as you keep getting back up,
even if you have to just lay on the ground for a little while afterwards, nothing's the end of the world.
I don't want to live in the past, and I'm not here to feel sorry for myself, because I'm not one to do that. It doesn't get anyone anywhere. The past doesn't change. It happened whether you like it or not. Adapt and push forward. Even if you feel like you don't have a reason to, use those feelings to help push people who need it. If you can't help yourself, help others. Then eventually you might be able to learn how to help yourself too. If you're still here, I really appreciate it. I can't express how much it means to me that you care enough to listen to what some random person on the internet is saying. Just
it's
telling
meaningful.
The story. I tried to keep it as short as I could so it wasn't boring. I could write a novel about all the things I felt during that time, but hopefully I got at least some points across in the right way. And I don't know what else to say other than just thanks.
She's freaking beautiful. She is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at her eyes. She's the cutest thing ever. I love everything about her. Like, that I see. I don't know a lot about her, but I do love everything that I'm seeing about her. And please don't get, you know, some people, when you're trying to give a point across, they decide to be in the negative. But the positive thing is that everything that she felt about herself, about how she felt that she didn't look good enough, she was battling with anorexia and then bulimia because of internal things that moved from just how the things that she did in her life and then became self-image issues. And she was too skinny because of everything that was going on, so she wanted to get healthier, and then when she got healthier and gained weight, she hated herself. She did not like what she saw, but she's so beautiful. And it's so sad that a lot of people go through things like this. A lot of people go through those situations where self-images are the lack of their view of themselves, their self-image is so torn and worn and so heavily battered that a lot of people do not see the real them. They don't see the real person that they are, inside or out. And because of low self-esteem, low confidence, things that happen in their lives, things that happen around them in the world, sometimes things that don't just directly have anything to do with them, it's just one paranoid thought that creates this wildfire of like sadness. And I remember now, not as a shameless plug, but Lily Singh's book, How to Be a Boss, reminds me of a lot of things. The great thing about the book is that there are a lot of things that over my life experiences, I can relate to a lot of things that she wrote in her book. And a lot of the lessons are things that they're in her book are reminders of things that I've experienced or went through. And one of the things that we do is we can be really hard on ourselves. And we, like she said, put high standards upon what we think we should be, where we think we should be, what we think we should be doing. And there's a healthy part of that in the aspects of people who have a drive and motivation. They're like, hey, I'm at point A, I want to get to point B, so I'm going to do what I can to get there. And there's healthy moments. But a lot of the times, in a lot of cases, when you have low self-esteem and low confidence, it's not about I'm encouraged to get from point A to point B. It's not I want to be a doctor, so I'm going to go to school and I'm going to do what I can to be a doctor. Some people, it's the negative type, where it's, I don't like what I see. I'm not at the height of the most beautiful person, how they look, I don't match them. How they live, I don't match them. How their lives are, I don't match that. And because I don't match that, I'm not good enough. And I'm not gonna go on forever because I know a lot of people get angry when I talk for a bit of time. But when you get those moments, there is a strength in when you fall down, getting back up and moving. I know she said she's a weak person because she gets knocked down, but that is not the case. If you get knocked down, it's normal for all of us to get knocked down. The weight of what we're getting knocked down, that varies, but everybody falls, everybody gets knocked down. The strength is getting back up, because one step after another step, after another step, after another step, you keep on moving, you keep on fighting, and you can get through whatever it is that you're getting through. The minute that you believe that you cannot or you will not, you will never do it. You have to believe. That's all I'll say. I know I've talked forever, on this video. I appreciate everybody who doesn't mind me talking at the beginning and the ends of the videos. I truly appreciate you guys letting me express myself, all of the different parts of me. And I appreciate the things that you guys have done for me when I feel similar things that she feels. You guys have really helped me through a lot of things. You have no idea. And I'm very grateful. I thank you. I love you. And check out her link for her video down in the description box below. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on her video or anything that I said down in the comment section below. And I hope this video made your day better. I hope to see you at the live stream. I love you guys as always. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I know that was a little different, but that's what I'm going to say. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.